Okay, ready for this live with Sparsh. Thank you, Ritika. Good to see you. Ah, there he is. Sparsh, can you
Hi.
hear me?
Yeah, I do hear you. Can you hear me?
Of course, my brother. How are you?
I'm nothing but blessed. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's so good to see you. For those of you who don't know this young man, first of all, if you don't know him, you need to know him. He is one of the most extraordinary human beings I've ever met in my life. And I say that because I've met a lot of people. I've worked with over 500,000 people. And if I were to say someone that I instantly think of when I want to be inspired or when I want to get, one of the first people I think of is Sparsh Shah. Amazing human being. He'll tell you his story in a few minutes, but singer, songwriter, rapper, humanitarian, inspirational speaker, a great human being. There's so many things I can say about you. But I think, Sparsh, first of all, welcome. It's so good to have you here, my friend, and thank you for waking up at an early hour of the morning in New York to be here.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. I mean, I'm really glad to be here with you today. So, you know, I've been looking forward to this interview, and especially, with everything that's been going on recently. I know in the
Yes,
US it's been getting a little bit better, but I know it's not always the same place everywhere else. I know, like for example, in India, right? Just addressing the elephant in the room, stuff has been crazy. And, you
yes,
know, people like go left and right, falling to the virus, the fear, misinformation. I called it misinformation.
I
Um,
like that.
there's, and just a lot of beaten down spirits, and I'm just like, you know, all I can tell people is, my prayers are up for them. They're always up for them. To everyone who's struggling, everyone on the front lines, all the patients, all the families, every single
Yes.
person. So my heart goes out to everyone who's watching, especially in India right now, because Lord knows it's tough for you, but you're gonna get out.
I love that. I love that strength. Sparsh, I think let's just to start off, to give people that strength to come out of this. For those who don't know, I'd love to know because this whole series is about courage under challenges, right? So we've had Abhishek Bachchan on, Mr. Bindra on, the Olympic gold medalist, all people who've gone through difficult times, but find a way to rise above it. You started your challenge in life the day you were born. And of course, we've shared that story many times. But for people who don't know, please just start that with just that background of kind of what your life was like when the day you were born and the challenge you faced.
Yeah. So I basically April 30, 2003. Yes, that is my birthday. Um, I came out of my mother's womb 40, like as soon as her water broke, 40 fractures throughout my body by the time I was born. Actually, you could say around like 35 fractures. And then when I got out of, my mother's belly, the doctors did the routine tests on me thinking there wasn't necessarily much wrong. And that broke even
Yes.
more bones because they didn't like, I mean, as a baby, all you can do is cry. You can't necessarily tell people, hey, you're hurting me. And to them,
Wow.
like, crying is like, okay, that's normal. Yeah, it was normal, but it was more than normal. uh so by the end of that, like, a few hours later or something, like, I got quite immediately, I was rushed to the ICU of another hospital. So maybe not even a few hours, very like immediately after this, rushed to an ICU of another hospital 20 miles away from my birth hospital. My mother was still sedated, sleeping from labor,
Wow.
the cesarean section she went through. She had no idea I got moved. And my dad was there, like, he was just, everything was going way too fast. My mother
Yes.
wakes up, her baby's not even there. Her
Wow.
baby's not there. She's wondering what in the world is going on. And the doctors come to my parents and say, your son has osteogenesis imperfecta. They're like, what? What? What the what? What is that? What is osteogenesis imperfecta? They never heard of that because it's a rare disorder. And they said, look, this is a rare, incurable genetic disorder that makes a person's bones very fragile. And they told him, Sparsh came out of the womb with 40 fractures, all this. And then they brought out this prognosis. He has 2 days to live. 2 days to live.
Wow.
And on the second day of my life, they came to my parents with a permission slip that would basically authorize the doctors to let go of my life support, to take off my life support should my condition worsen to the point of irreparability. Basically, if my condition
Wow.
wasn't going to go any further or any better, they would take off my life support because pretty much I was done for. It's a world of
Yes.
statistics. It's harsh. But then something really, really interesting happened. My mother was looking at me at my in my she went to visit me in the hospital. I could not move anything. I was barely breathing. Even my ribs were broken. Hands, legs, ribs, you name it. Pretty much everything was broken. But
Wow.
my eyes animated. They saw everything. I looked at a human and I wouldn't let go. My eyes wouldn't let them go. And I looked at my mother, and my mother said, my eyes were speaking through me. And what I told her was, Mom, I came into this world to do something big, to change it forever. Don't be afraid. And ever since,
That's
like, my mom did not look back, and my dad did not look back. And there's something that happened with my dad too. He went because he didn't know what to do, right? So and back in the days, of course, long distance calls from India's were expensive, but like this was like a very unique situation. Mom and dad are first time parents, immigrants, first generation immigrants to America, no money,
yes.
only a few no friends, couple family members, few $100s in their pocket, classic immigrant story. And then this happened. And they were like, what do we make of this? Why did God do this to me? Do this to us?
Yes.
Why did God do this to our
Yes.
son? So
Yes.
my dad calls his dad in India, asking him the very same question. And my grandfather gave him a response that he will never forget. And I will never forget. And my grandfather told my father, Hiren, God gave you Sparsh because he knew that you would be the best parents for him. You are chosen by him to raise this kid because this kid is someone really special. And my dad was like, ever since then, he was like, it was no longer God, why me? It was God, thank you for me. And thank you for Sparsh.
Wow.
Ever since then,
Well,
mom and dad never stopped living in gratitude that, I'm here. And just the fact that I'm here, I'm 18 now. And it blows my mind.
18.
Just think
Yes.
that I'm an adult, but it also blows my mind to think that the doctor said I had 2 days to live, and by the grace of God, I'm here. And to do
First
all
of first of
done.
all, brother, virtual, I don't know, high five or what, or
Yes.
namaste across the channel here from I'm in Dubai, you're in New York, but what an incredible thing. I mean, this is a perfect example of we're all told that we all go to, to doctors and all these people for certainty. And of course, doctors are brilliant. They're amazing at what they do. And we need to listen to
Oh, yeah.
them. But no one can evaluate, no medical test you can do can give you the power of the human spirit.
Yes.
And I love that, right? It's your will, even your soul coming through your eyes to connect with your mom, and just saying, I'm here, and I love that mindset of your father, right? Instead of like, why do I have this, but thanking God for this child,
Yeah.
and the ability to start your life with gratitude, and now here you are, 18 years later, and by the way, as you know, I'd love you to tell people, it's not been like an easy ride since then. It's been a difficult ride to get
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you faced, and how did you get through them?
Yeah. So, I mean, the challenges were immediate. First 6 months, I was in a neonatal ICU recovering from my 40 fractures. My
Yes,
parents fight to bring me back home because the doctors were like worried that, first of all, would you be able to take care of, Sparsh and everything? Like, because this is your first child. And so this is more than any parent would ask for, right? So, but my mom and dad were like, no, look, we have this child. We're going to raise him. We're going to figure it out. We are going to
yes.
take care of him so much better because they were considering to have me raised in an institution, and my mom was,
Wow,
no, we want to raise him, even if it takes our whole life figuring out how to do it. We're gonna do it because we love him. So they brought me home, and then first 3 years I had severe GI reflux. I could not swallow solid foods without vomiting. Even a little after that, it was still a problem, but I had an NG tube for the first year of my life, and that had to be replaced day in, day out. My mom did that every single night without fail. Um,
wow.
at NG tube, couldn't hold a pencil for the first 3 or so years of my life. Struggled with that a little bit as a child because of my joint laxity associated with my condition. But the main thing
Yes.
is really, I mean, 140 fractures, um, I don't, I can't tell you the count of surgeries, but 8 rods and 22 screws in my body and an IV port at one point. Uh,
Wow.
So those two, countless emergency room visits, countless doctor appointments, but
Yes.
I mean, I'm here. So, and I'm grateful. And, personally, I tell people, look, I thank God for the body I'm given. I don't even
Yes.
consider it a disability. Personally, I think of it as, I've come to realize recently that, maybe I don't necessarily need a strong body in order to do what I've been called to do. Maybe God didn't need to give me strong bones in order to fulfill my purpose, because my purpose is greater than my pain. My ambition is stronger
Ah,
than adversity. My purpose is just at a whole nother level. My body has nothing to do with it, but my body is there to humble me, is there to
yes.
remind me that, yeah,
Wow.
look, we can't do life alone. We can't go on with life as, oh, I'm going to be all macho about it. I'm going to do this myself. I'm just going to, push through it. And hey, look, I've had those times many times. I still have that. I'm, but I've come to realize that it's not about independence. It's about
Yes.
being independence upon other people, upon God,
Mm,
being interdependent, because without that, we can't survive as humans. And really, moreover, I think that, this body I've been given, it's like, it reminds me, it's the reason why I'm as strong and resilient and why I have the courage and faith that I have today. I could, if I died right now and God
yes.
asked me to give you back, I'll give you back your life without your condition and without this, or he told me, okay, you can start over completely. Like, both God and I know it's not, I would ask for the same exact life, because without this life, I would not be where I am today. And I thank God for that. I know he
That's
did it for.
amazing. Absolutely. I love the line. Everyone should write this line down or make a note of this line. My purpose is greater than my pain. I think sometimes we focus on the pain so much instead of the purpose that the pain is calling us for. And I think, like you said, and I love the beautiful, I mean, I'm so impressed by you. that your body's there to humble you, right? Is to let you know that you have a strong purpose, but to also let you appreciate that other people are needed or other resources are needed to
Yeah.
put that purpose into the world. That's so beautiful, my friend. What would you say right now? Look, let's just get around to the real nitty gritty of this. Someone's in a hospital right now. Someone has a family member in the hospital right now in India. And the people who have family members in hospitals right now or in COVID centers or in hospitals, you've been in many hospitals in your life. What took you through that? What got you through that? What beliefs, what mindset got you through that you can then share with people today?
Yeah. I always tell people this when they're having a bad day. Um, you know, right now you're going through a valley, and there's no deny that no one can deny that. And that's a normal part of life. But just know that the deeper the valley, the higher the mountain. So don't,
Mm,
that's just how nature works. The deeper the valley, the higher the mountain. So don't, just know that no matter what you're going through, you're gonna get out. Just,
yes,
just able to see that, I mean, I would say that the light is at the end of the tunnel, but I personally feel like there's more to it. I feel like the real people, like I feel like the people who truly about can bounce back from any situation, right? The real children of light are the ones who see that the light is not just at the end of the tunnel, and it's not just back at the beginning. It's everywhere. It's within you
yes,
too. But you have to
yes,
understand that, and you have to let it in the darkest points in your life. Like, I think one very interesting thing like you could do is, like, for example, you know whenever you're going through like something like this, I've been applying this a little recently. Whenever you're like, maybe you're super angry, you're super frustrated, or like just things aren't going your way, right? And you're
yes,
like, what do I do? Maybe start asking yourself peaceful questions, healing questions, like, hey, what can I be grateful for right now? Like,
mm,
okay, somebody's at the hospital fighting off COVID, and the condition is really severe, right? Let's take the worst case scenario, right?
yes,
What can we be
yes,
thankful for? God has allowed that person to live long enough, and that person is continuing to struggle, even though the war is not over, he's still fighting, or she's still fighting. Be thankful for that.
wow,
Be thankful that you're still alive. Be thankful that you've been safe until this time. Be thankful for the fact that you have uh hopefully you have food that you're able to eat. You have a roof under your head, hopefully. And even if you don't have all these things, be thankful for the fact that you have life. I think just being thankful. I feel like we spend so much time also being thankful for the things we have in life. And we
yes,
got to be thankful just as much about life itself, because life is the first gift. Everything else
yes,
after. And just, you know, it's a very interesting concept that we learned from this video from Guru Gaur Gopal Das ji. It's called Why. It's basically Why Worry. And so it goes like this: if you have a problem in life, can you do something about it? Or first of all, if you have a problem, then if there's no problem to begin with, right, and you're just making mountains out of molehills, then just don't worry about it. Why worry? If you do have
yes,
a problem, okay, can you do something about it? If yes,
yes,
then go do it without worry. Why worry? Just go
yes,
do it.
yes,
If there's nothing you can do, then it's out of your control. Just leave it to up there. Like, why worry? Just focus on what you're grateful for. Focus on what
yes,
you can do. You know what I mean?
yes, yes. I love that, when you talk about being grateful, I absolutely love that. And I think there's something really powerful what you just said. In terms of being grateful for life itself, I truly believe that before COVID, we were a culture, we were people that we took people for granted. We took life for granted. We took time for granted. We took oxygen for granted. And I believe there's one lesson that COVID is teaching us right now is that life's not meant to be about taking, it's about giving, giving gratitude, giving love, giving caring, giving support to other people. And living, the secret to living is giving. I truly believe. But a
Oh,
great way of looking at that is that oxygen is the gift, right? And I love that. Instead of we look at gratitude of our house and our home, but oxygen, being alive, is a gift. And I love that one distinction. Anyone here who's gone through a challenging time or got someone who's right now going through in a hospital, if they're still fighting, that means they want to live. If they're fighting, that's life inside them, trying to find a way. So be grateful that they're fighting. Be grateful for that strength that people are showing. And instead of seeing what they don't have, see a body that's fighting for life and appreciate the warrior in any family member.
yeah, definitely. And I would also,
Sparsh,
I guess,
yeah, sorry.
no, it's okay. I would just also add that, don't give up faith. Just,
Yes,
believe, right? I mean, sure, yeah, you can say like obviously, I guess yeah, it's a good saying, right? Like prepare for the worst, but also have faith in the best.
yes,
Like always believe that it's like always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. Always believe that
yes,
something is going to turn around in your life. Always believe that something amazing is coming for you. You know what I mean?
yes,
And so
yes,
I feel like never give up faith, and especially during those times, like if you're up for it, like just pray and stuff, because
yes.
yeah, prayer is
And
power.
it's not, like you're saying, life is coming for you. I believe like life is not happening to you, right? It's happening for you. There's some lesson that you're meant to learn, some gift that you're supposed to get, some emotional muscle you're supposed to build through this.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Our trials, I think the reason why they call them trials is because trials try us. And
yes,
when you try a metal in the fire, that means it gets purified. So our
yes,
try our spirits. So in the same way, right? So we just have to take it as that. We are not refined with silver. We are refined by our struggles. We are refined by our affliction. We are refined by
yes,
all the things, right? Like even better, and also like for example, carbon, right? Carbon's not a metal, but without the intense pressure of the Earth's core, it doesn't become a diamond.
love that. Love that. Truly amazing. By the way, guys, send questions in for Sparsh. We're going to come to them in a few minutes. So please just send in any questions for Sparsh. Sparsh, I think one thing you said to me, you said to me in the podcast we're doing right now, and you said it very powerfully. You said a moment you were in hospital and you had gone through surgeries and you felt like you were giving up, and there was a belief that you had that pulled you through. I'd love to share that because if someone is right now going through that, let's give them that practical belief that they can grab onto and live by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think at that time it was like just the amount of pain during my spinal fusion surgery. To
Yes.
get one bit of context, the surgeons there, they had given me um, basically they put two rods and 19 screws into my back to correct as much as possible the severe
Wow.
scoliosis I had. So it was hands down the biggest surgery I've ever done. Um, and basically, when I just woke up, I was totally in a daze and, just
Yes.
so much pain everywhere, back, hips, like just anesthesia, vomiting, everything. And just a couple days of just going through that. And I was just like, what is going on? And nobody was there. I looked up. I mean, I couldn't look up anywhere else. I was laying on a bed, but I just lifted my eyes up and I was just like, God, where are you when I need you? I can't do what's that. I could do with you. I can do anything, but without you, I'm nothing. I broke. There are two types of people in that situation. The people who during these kinds of situations, they'll totally lose faith. They'll stop believing, in things like
Yes.
God. They'll stop believing that it's going to get better for them. They're going to stop believing that, there's some on in that, there's the deeper the valley, the higher the mountain. And then there are the people who, even when they break down, they realize that no, like I still, after that just like little tiny prayer and that breaking down, I still realized that, I still came out realizing God is not done with me. I have a
Wow.
writing in me. It's not finished. It's not over. I have to, really take it one day at a time. That's what I learned,
Yes.
the months of recovery. I came out after a week, went back home, but it took me many months to like, slowly learn how to like adjust to my back and everything. But really it was just take it one day at a time because, first of all, every day is a gift.
Yes.
Past is history and the future is a mystery. Today's a gift. So use it wisely. So it was that, and just also, I have to be able to listen to my body. I have to be able to, you know also encourage my body to push through these
So what did
times.
you tell your body? What did you tell your body to push through? What
Just,
was that talk that you gave him?
it was basically just like my mindset was just do a little bit better every day. I mean,
Wow.
what better can you do? Just do a little bit better every day. And that's
Yes.
become one of my mottos. Like, if I am is greater than I was, then I'm making progress. That's it.
I love that. If I am is greater than I was. But what a great definition of success. If I am is greater than I was, then I'm making progress. It's not about the destination, it's just about that continuous growth. And I love what you said. And by the way, everyone should hear that. What if everyone had the mindset of I'm not finished? Right? I'm not finished. And that mindset of just day by day improvement. Abhishek Bachchan talked about that. He talked about that, about going inch by inch. And I love that. Absolutely brilliant, what you shared. Sparsh, I think, you know, your story is so powerful. And I think there's one more piece on health. One thing you shared with me, which is amazing. Here's a guy with 140 something fractures, and this shocked me, and I hope it's an inspiration for anyone. I think if COVID has taught us anything, we need to take care of our health at a higher level. And I love what you shared about how you've decided to commit your life to having a six pack. Is that what I heard? When we last talked, I was
Um,
amazed by this.
so so yeah, actually it was very interesting. The spinal fusion surgery actually, it not only transformed my face, it also like transformed my body. Like, I feel like everything that happened internally also manifested externally to me. It was
Yes,
a total change in how I've decided to, take care of myself. So my right before my surgery, I had done the checkups to see if I was ready and eligible for the surgery. And my surgeon had told me, Sparsh, you're about to go through this big surgery. And also, really, right now, you're kind of like, you're pretty overweight, basically. You're a little overweight. And, you know, it's not way too bad either. But if you don't start maintaining or taking care of yourself now, then much later on, it's going to be harder for you, especially with people with OI, because we have limited mobility. It's going to be much
yes.
harder to, uh, go back to normal when you become an adult. So you should start taking care of yourself right now. So I took that as, okay, get off your butt. I always could never have enough pizza, never have enough paneer, never have enough of that. By the way, just letting you guys know, I still eat pizza, I still eat paneer, I still eat all the foods I love. I'm a foodie. Anybody who knows me, seen me eat, I'm a foodie. But from then on, I was just like, yeah, I gotta start taking care of myself. I've been intermittent fasting for at least almost 3 years now. Intermittent fast,
Wow.
2 meals a day, uh, and then I started exercising. And so basically, one of the big exercises I did was 45 degree. I'm laying in my bed, 45 degrees. I lift my legs up, and slowly, I kept going. Minute every day, further and further. Now I can hold my legs up for 1 hour and a minute,
What?
and then after that, I do 100 leg cycles forward and 100 backwards. Basically, no stopping. That's my exercise
That's
routine.
incredible.
And that is basically after like months of doing that, you know, I got six packs. And I basically, had no idea it was happening, but it's just that the exercise was so intense in nature that it happened. But it also, I feel like, yeah, and it was interesting because when I went back to my surgeon after a couple of years and he saw this, it was like, oh my God, I would never have expected this. And, my dad was like, and he was saying basically, like, I have never seen anybody who has done a spinal fusion surgery and afterwards has come out with six packs. Like, according to him, it was like medically impossible.
That's
So
incredible.
this was kind
Spinal
of,
fusion surgery, and then you turn that around and say, I'm going to have a six pack, and you
I,
can now put your legs in the air for an hour and then do cycles after that.
yeah, I mean, like I said, at first I had no idea it had even happened. I was literally going to take a shower, and my dad noticed me, like, as I was contracting my abs, and he was just like, what is that? What is that? I'm like, I don't know. What do you see? He's like, I see six packs. I'm like, and he's like, how did you do that? My dad was like, and you did this thing without a single crunch? Like, what? And
Wow.
dad were like, oh my God, don't eat, don't cut down your diet so much. Don't be exercising so intensely. Like, take it back a step. But then my dad saw this six pack and he was like, dude, you know what? Just keep doing what you're doing. Cause what you're doing, like, this is phenomenal. And I was just like, dude, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. It just, when you decide to turn your life around, when you really make the commitment to turn your life around, things turn around for you too. Like,
Yes.
it just happened. It's just that you have to have that will to do it. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes. Talk about that commitment because I think that's a key thing for anyone here. It's easy to say, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then we do it for a day or 2 days or 3 days, and then we kind of stop doing it. For you to have your legs in the air after spinal fusion surgery for an hour, for you to be able to have a six pack, this didn't happen after 1 or 2, 3 days of commitment. How
Mm-mm.
did you stay committed, and for how long did you have that commitment?
Yeah, no, I mean, it took me quite a few months in order from when I started doing those leg lifts to actually see any change, like coming in my like abs and stuff. But I've basically been trying to do it like pretty much every day now. It's
Yes.
just been something too, because also another aspect of it is that, when I'm exercising, I'm also at my most spiritual. So I'm like, I'm praying, I'm doing all that. That's really what I believe. That's what got me through the 1 hours of like
Yes.
exercising torture, like, just that 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 intensity of the workout. It's just the spiritual exercise that I do at the same time. It's not just about the physical. It's not that I'm just exercising my body. I'm exercising my godliness. So
I
there's
love that. So you're
and
praying for an hour as you're in this thing with your legs up in the air. You're sitting there and you're praying for an hour.
pretty much like praying and reading. And so basically, that is
Amazing.
like, without, I feel like without that I couldn't have gone through that intensity. But also it's just like, that's another added aspect, that's another part of the motivation, you know what I mean? And
Yes.
also just not only motivation, right? But as a lot of people have said, and it's very true, like, when motivation runs out, discipline has to take over. And so it's
Mm.
not just about, it's not just about, okay, I'm doing it because I want to, but also I'm doing it out of a sense of duty.
Yes.
Because the days that you don't want to do it, you have to be able to push yourself and say, no, look, I'm doing this because, there's that higher purpose. I need to be a better person
Mm.
than I was yesterday.
Mm.
I'm gonna do
Mm.
work not because I just want to, but also because I have to if I want to be a better person. So
I love that.
just that mindset of having that really is like, helped me and pushed me. And yeah, so six packs without a crunch, I guess.
I love that. And you mentioned purpose, and you've mentioned purpose quite a few times now. Sparsh, just so people know, what is your purpose? You've mentioned to me your vision, your mission, right, and your identity statement, and you've got them. So, what is your purpose in life? What is that mission, and what is that vision?
Yeah. So basically, my purpose is simply to show people that we can live limitless lives. Show people that
Hmm.
there is absolutely no limit for the human spirit if we set ourselves free from the limitations that hold us back. And I feel like now that I've as I've learned more about myself especially during these times with COVID and everything, I've ended up realizing that uh like I personally, I feel like I used to think that one door closes, another door opens. I used to think of it as, okay, God took away my ability to walk and he gave me a voice instead.
Hmm.
But now I've come to realize, you know what? God never took anything away from me by giving me my body. He never took anything away from me. He just gave me a different advantage. I am not disabled, I'm differently abled. And I'm not a disadvantage, which means I'm not disadvantaged. I'm just differently advantaged. Like, for example,
Love
you
that.
for example, someone might be great at soccer but bad at drawing. So I'm great at singing but maybe not at walking. So so what? I didn't need to walk to fulfill my purpose. My purpose, look, I want to leave Earth better than I found it. I want to leave my footprints or track prints in the sand of legacy so deep, not even the tsunami of time can erase it. And really,
Wow.
people tell me, and this is another thing that, through it all, like, I just want people to know that really, as long as you have faith and grit, you can make anything happen. And I always tell people this too, like, whenever they see me and they're like, okay, man, you have something in you, you have this light in you. And I'm always quick to reply, no, man, you got it wrong. I'm the lantern. The light you see in me is God shining through me, because this isn't my purpose either. This isn't my passion either. I personally believe that this is a calling and this is a purpose that God gave me. So
Yes.
at the end of the day, he gets the glory. He gets the credit, and not just that, but like, you know, it's because of him that I am able to go out there with the boldness that I have and tell
Hmm.
people, hey, look, no matter where you are in your life, you know, the story's not over until you say it's over. And the story's not
Yes.
over until you have fulfilled that purpose. So go find it, go work towards it, go believe that it's
Yes.
done, and then get it done. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like anyone can do that. Everyone has their own special purpose. We all have diamonds in the rough. We all have carbon. And we have to just I feel like we have to allow the obstacles in our life to become stepping stones. We have to allow the pressures in our life to make us diamonds. And then once we find those diamonds, that's passion, right? Look, God can give you a diamond, but he always gives it to you raw. You have to cut and polish it.
Love that.
So
Love that.
we
So
let's
we are all uncut diamonds basically.
yeah, we're all uncut, unpolished. And it's beautiful that we are uncut and unpolished. I think there's a beauty in that too. But I feel like
Yes.
far too many people, we look at people who do something extraordinary well, and we're like, oh well, they have a talent, they were born with it, this is a God-given gift. Yeah, sure, fine, it's definitely a God-given gift, but without the work, a gift doesn't become greatness.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You mentioned vision. A lot of young people are on this, right? In terms of what's going on right now. And right now, a lot of young people can't see their future, right? They can't see their graduation. They can't see their job prospects. They're in the prime of their life, like you are, 18 years old, right? And by the way, how many of you guys on Instagram Live right now are shocked that that you're listening to an 18-year-old kid? I know this sounds like you're listening to like a 60-year-old like guru, but This man is an 18-year-old boy with a 60-year-old guru's soul. Um, and there's so many wise pieces of wisdom in him. What's your advice to people who are your age, who are in the prime of their life and seeing this COVID challenge and uncertainty happening? What is your advice to them about how to kind of see that future?
Yeah, I think first thing that we all need to know,
Yes.
very, very simple. This too shall pass. Listen, this is not the first time that we've gone through worldwide plagues. There are countless times in history this has happened. This is not the first time we've gone through, a global. We had a global epidemic 100 years ago, and while COVID is definitely different, we got out of that one too, right?
Yes.
Uh, that I think in so basically, have that faith that this too shall pass. Just
Yes.
know that, because yeah, it really does all start with a positive attitude and understanding that these this once you understand that this too will pass, right? But then we have to go to the next level and be like, okay, yeah, sure, this too will pass, but really, why is it happening, right? It gets philosophical and you ask, why is it happening? So many people are asking, why is this happening? I think this is happening so that I think God is trying to remind us of what's important in life. I really
Mm.
think that this is a message saying, yo, guys, y'all have been focusing on the wrong things. Y'all have been focusing on, like, you guys have been measuring success with money and with cars and with fame and with houses and with the success of
Yes.
like your family life or your friends or all this and your work and everything. Guys, first focus on life. Be grateful for life. First focus on
Mm.
know, first focus on life. First focus on the one who gave you life. First focus on the ones who are most important in life, the ones you really love, and the ones who really love you, because you don't know when they're gonna go now. I think at this
Yes.
time more than ever, it's reminded us, hey, look, anybody can go away from us in a second. We don't even know.
Yes.
We realized, I think, more than ever now that we are not in control. And I think that's the message. That's the big message that God, I think, wants to send us is, look, we're not in control, but I got this. Don't worry. Like, just, I'm doing this to make this world stronger and also to remind the world that, look, my priorities for you are higher than the priorities you're setting for yourself. And you're not going to be the best version of yourself. You're not going to be the person who I made you to be until you realize these priorities, until you start living for these higher priorities, right?
Yes.
To like
Yes. Yes.
really cherish the ones you love, to really like understand who you are, where you're coming from, what your real purpose is. It's not about the status and fame and stuff that goes away when you leave. You came here naked, you're going naked, right?
Yes.
It's about
Yes.
what impact did you make for other people? What impact
Mm.
did you make for this world to make it a better place, right? Did did you live a life that is worthy of the purpose you were given?
Yes.
Did you
Yes.
live
Yes.
a life that is worthy of the one who made you? I feel like that is why we are here in this time. This time has reminded us of that more than ever. So that
I
not
love
just
that.
know this, but I think also just you know for people who can't see their future, just know that once you know that, right, everything else, like what you're going through now, it becomes temporary. I remember, like, when we were just talking before this live, right, you were
Yes.
talking about, right now we again, we a lot of people don't know what our future is, right? A lot of people, we feel like this isn't going to end and it's only getting worse. I'm like, this is a test. We have to turn it into a testimony, but you can't do that
Mm.
without realizing that your tests are making you stronger and without allowing those tests to make you stronger.
I love that. There's two pieces of great wisdom that you shared there. One is, I believe fully, and I'm fully aligned to you on this, that what's happening right now is to bring us back into balance with what we actually want in our life. I think everything in our life, everything in our body is there for balance. I believe in that. we're getting we get symptoms. Symptoms are there for what reason? To bring us back into balance. It's our body giving us feedback, saying this is wrong. Put yourself back into balance. Challenges happen in our life to remind us to go back to what we really want in our life and what's most important, our values. And I think that I agree with you so much. This is a time for evaluation, right? Looking at our life and evaluating by what are our most important values. So many people, you've seen this, I've seen this, actually living their life pre-COVID, making success number one, but actually what's most important to them is their family. Actually what's most important to them is helping people. Now we got a chance to stop hiding behind our real purpose, to stop hiding behind and making excuses for it and embracing it and saying this is what we want and really aligning with our values.
So
So I'm full.
Saying is,
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is COVID-19 came and made us put masks over our face, but it took the masks off of ourselves, our identities.
Absolutely. I love that. Remove the mask from not just our identity, but remove the mask from our purpose. Remove the
Yes.
mask from who we really are. And
Agreed.
really kind of right, unleash ourselves and say, this is who we are, and this is what we're about, and this is what really means to us in life, because life is that gift. The other thing you said that was really powerful that I want to add to is this idea that, and I believe it, I truly believe God's delays are not God's denials. And
Yes.
young people's dreams today, right, are not denied, they're just delayed. But we need to have faith in them, we need to believe in them. And I know that's something you teach, right? The
Oh,
power
yeah.
of belief, the power of believing, the power of not seeing it to believe it, but believing it and then seeing it. And I know you manifested that, right, in your own life. From what I remember your TED talk, right? You manifested where you're going to go to college. And now
Yeah.
5 years later, here you are
Oh,
going to that college.
God.
Tell that story.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, I love that the way you said that. I feel like a lot of people, I love that you also are aligned with me on the fact that, yeah, sometimes you have to believe in order to see. I feel like a lot of people say, like, without seeing, believing is blind faith, but
Yes.
sometimes I feel like faith is such a powerful it's such a powerful tool in our lives that it doesn't need strength. I mean, it doesn't need sight. It doesn't need the five senses, because it holds in something that will happen. Even though it's inaccessible to the senses, it believes in something that is happening, right? Hope,
Yes.
hope you don't uh, yeah, no, I totally agree. And speaking
But
of
was it to
college,
Sparsh, just to add to answer before you jump into that, you said faith and hope don't need sight. But what they do is faith and hope give you sight. They give you
yes,
insight, right?
yes,
They give you insight
yes,
into what's there that pulls you through it.
yes, 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 100%.
Absolutely. So
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 yeah,
please do share about college. That's so powerful.
okay. So basically, this is really interesting. So on December 2015, when I gave that speech, right, at TEDx Gateway, so that was what I said. One of my main goals, right, for my next major music goals was to study at Berklee College of Music. I'd said, but by the way, this is another thing, right, where you say, like, God delays, but He never denies, right? So
Yes.
it's both lessons here. Because what I'd said is I wanted to do it while I was still in high school, right? So interestingly enough, like 4 years later, right, I applied to Berklee Online, which is Berklee College of Music's online degree program, and I got in. I've committed, but
Wow.
at the same time, like I said, I wanted to do it in high school. I didn't get to, because, well, life happened and then COVID happened. But again, right, God delays, but He never denies. And so just the fact that, I ever since then, I think it's also just the fact that it's not just about the belief, but it's also just about having the willingness to work towards that dream, right?
Yes.
Because, I mean, sure, I want to go there and I want to study in college, but I also want to, before I get there, I want to learn as much as I can. So I've
Yes,
kept learning. I feel like life is always a continuous journey about learning, you know? They say success isn't the journey. I mean, isn't the destination, right? It's the journey. And I feel like that
yes,
is learning. I feel like if you're learning and you're applying those lessons into your life, you are living a successful life no matter where what situation you're in. I don't care how rich you are, I don't care how poor you are. I don't care who's with you and who isn't with you, right? It doesn't matter if people recognize you or they don't recognize you for your success. But if you're learning continually and you humble yourself to learn continually, and you apply those
yes.
lessons into your life, you are being successful. That's it. That's what you're supposed to.
Everyone write that down right now. Success equals learning. So many people are so focused on Sparsh, sorry to interrupt you, but so many people know this. So many people in India and in the world, so many students focus on studying. No one likes to study, but we all love to learn. So don't make you instead of making yourself an academic, person, student, make yourself a lifelong learner. And I love that, right? Success is learning. I absolutely love that. That's beautiful, Sparsh. Carry on what you're saying. It's very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, so basically that, like just the willingness to keep learning. And I think, ever since then I've like just kept laboring right towards these goals that I have. Another goal I
Yes,
had was to like, release my own original songs. I got to release my first two debut singles during the COVID-19 pandemic.
wow.
So there's that. And then, my new goal is I wanna put out my debut album. That's another thing. And I mean, again, like there's that, I've gotten to write, over 70 songs. The performances, 250 live and 30 virtual events, at least 35 at least virtual events since COVID
That's
started.
amazing.
Um, you know,
But
and the
Sparsh, you know
bill.
what's some? Yeah, sorry.
No, sorry. But also, really, the most important thing, right? The billion people on that
Yes,
stage. I said that I wanted to sing in front of a billion people. It's happened
yes.
twice.
Wow.
I would not have been able to do that. Number one, if I did not believe I could do it, and number two,
Yes,
if I did not work towards it. Right? I feel like
yes,
that's
yes.
a combination of faith and grit. You need both in order to
Abs,
get to where you are. And so,
abs,
yeah.
Absolutely, and I love that. I mean, guys, just hear this. Here's a guy who came on TEDx 5 years ago and said, "I want to go to Berkeley. I want to study music at Berkeley. I want to sing in front of a billion people." And it wasn't just a fantasy. It was a dream, and there's a difference. Fantasy is I want something, it's this big pie in the sky, but I'm not willing to own it. I'm not willing to believe in it. I'm not willing to put the hard work into it. You took these things and said, it's not a fantasy that I'm going to be seeing a billion people. It's my dream, it's my mission, it's my
Yeah.
purpose. And I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to get to Berkeley. And here you are going to Berkeley, online, right, to Berkeley to study music. Here you are, singing to a billion people. It's truly amazing, my young brother. I would love to, you mentioned original songs. I would love to, as we kind of wind down this amazing chat today, I would love you to share. There's a song of yours I love, and I know you released it around the time of COVID recently, or last year, last couple of years, about tomorrow. And I think it's a beautiful song. And if I can ask you humbly to share your lovely voice with us and to share just a little bit from that song, and a Sparsh Shah original that we would love to hear, and to give us that hope to really look at tomorrow.
No, absolutely, most definitely. I mean, again, right? This is why I've loved creating songs, because I know that, they have the ability to inspire so many people. And so
Yes.
this song that I wrote, uh, I'll just, yeah, I'll sing a couple lines a cappella. Why not?
Sure.
This
Whatever. Even just.
Yeah, I call it "There's Always Tomorrow." It's an inspirational song I wrote many years ago that I got to release on my birthday last year during COVID. And basically, it's just kind of a love song and an inspirational song It's like for anyone who's going through anything difficult in their life, and I know that's a lot of us today. So here it is. Have you ever felt alone? Or maybe not at home? Did you want to give up? 'Cause maybe it was too much. Well, you might not have wings, but you can still fly and you can sing. Because who you are doesn't matter, 'cause you're a superstar. There's always tomorrow. No need for the sorrow. We will make it if we can. Come back from where we began. If you can believe it, you can achieve it.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. My friends, if you have not heard the full song, please go to Sparsh's website or his Instagram page and check out the song. It's an amazing song. It's a song that, I mean, I listen to it. Other people should listen to it on the days when you're thinking, oh my God, today I can't see tomorrow. We can always see tomorrow, my friends.
Not in tomorrow is not the next day. Tomorrow is the next moment in our own minds. And if
Ooh.
we can create it in ourselves, we can make it happen. I absolutely love that. Sparsh, before I let you go, you're doing so much amazing work to help people during this COVID time. I know you're doing a lot of work to help people who have challenges, right? And get to give them food and to give them opportunities. Please share that with us.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I would love to. And I'm so grateful that you brought this up. Um, so basically, during these crazy times, right? I mean, there's already been limited resources, especially in India with the whole, oxygen concentrators and ventilators and everything. People are scrambling and to find what they need, food and all of that. And I feel like one of our biggest priorities as a human, as a human race, I feel like it's especially in times like this that we have to look out for the people who do not always have access to these, essentials, food, water,
Yes.
clothing, like, medical equipment, stuff like this to begin with. So I have been the youth ambassador of this organization called the Voice of Specially Abled People for quite a few years now. And ever since COVID, what we have been doing is we have been going all throughout India and donating ration kits and first aid kits to differently abled people all over India who may not have, who already may not have access to these things to begin with and really need it during these times. So, like, we have been giving these first aid kits, ration kits, 1 month's worth of food per person, and oxygen concentrators across 3 states so far: Gujarat,
Wow.
Karnataka, and Madhya Pradesh. And, to thousands of specially abled people. Our goal right now is to distribute 50,000, to get to the point where we can distribute 50,000 ration kits a day,
Wow.
uh, and to help with the oxygen concentrator services for the patients of COVID-19 who are unable to get out of the house to seek hospital treatment, which is limited to begin with. So, you know,
Wow.
personally, as soon as I heard that number 50,000 a day, I'm like, there's so many more specially able people than that. So I feel like we should definitely be able to upscale that. And I know that for that, we not only need, funds in order to give that much food and to help with the oxygen concentrators and, to give, first aid kits and all this help to the people who need it, but we also need volunteers. So I personally I would love to ask anybody and everybody who either is in India or knows people in India who are willing and able to, volunteer to help distribute these, ration kits and concentrators and first aid kits and to the people who really need them. please do reach out to me, because I would love to connect you to VOSAP and everything we're doing. Because, you know, message me, please do message me on Instagram, or if you know people on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or wherever I'm at. My website too, www.sparshshah.com. There you'll find everything. Basically, if you know anybody or if you're willing and able to volunteer, please contact me. The special URL, like on my website, I can actually pin it. I'll pin it.
Yes, please do.
www.sparshshah.com/contact.
I can see Akanksha is already jumping in, saying she would love to be part of it. And by the way, in these chats, you know, please make sure if you're going to say something, you're saying something of value. If not, you know, it's not the right place to be.
Yeah. Anandji, would you mind being able to pin that, please? Because you're the host, I think you have the power to do that.
No problem. What I'll do is I'll make sure after we do this and I post this, I will put this up there so that everyone can go there and access it. You guys will send it to me. I'll make sure we can get it outside after this thing. Leave that to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And hold up, I'm also gonna put up another website. Just voice of this is the official website of our organization, voiceofsap.org. This is Voice of Specially Able People. Oh, hold up.
Amazing.
Wait, actually, there's a sub part of that site that's really important. So the
And
thing
by the way, Sparsh,
go
please send
to.
this to me after our chat, and I'll make sure that those links are on our chat as well, and on yours as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, like I said, again, right, we have people who can volunteer, but also people who are not, you know, in India, right? Like people like me, people like my family, people like your family. You know, please, you know, if there are any even, you know, monetary contributions you can make. And even if it's as simple as if you don't have the money, because I know that, you know, with COVID, things have been very precarious. So
Yes.
if you don't have, you know, money, it's not like we're asking you to give that, but you can spread the word, you know, right?
Yes.
So volunteering, monetary contributions, spreading the word, spreading your love, right? You know,
Yes. Love it.
all
Love it.
things,
Please, by
as
the way,
many ways we
all
can help, let's be of service.
absolutely. Guys, it's an amazing cause to help people who are disabled, who can't even go out and get the oxygen and the necessary supplies they need. Please, if you can volunteer your time, if you can donate money or even spread the link, whatever you can do to spread this mission and spread this service, it's absolutely a powerful one. And I've told Sparsh today myself that I will be contributing something financially to this as well. So I encourage you guys to do that too. Whatever comes from your heart, it's not about how big or small. No, it's not a, contribution is not a game. It's not a competition. Contribution
Yeah.
is service, and whatever you can give is what you can give. Time, even sending the link onto someone else, that's powerful in itself. Sparsh, before we let you go, brother, before the sun completely sets here on me here in Dubai, I just want to thank you for being a champion. You know, you are someone who I look at as a champion, someone who I think is got such a powerful purpose in this world. I'm so grateful for the time you shared with me today. And I'm starting an initiative I'd love your support with. You know, I believe that right now, we look at the statistics in India, and I'll tell you one thing. We as a country, India, have gone through things. We've gone through, we've gone through floods, we've gone through droughts, we've gone through world wars, we've gone through partition, we've gone through attacks, we've gone through everything. We are a resilient country. And in my opinion, we are greater. The strength in India is greater than any statistic. It's greater than any
Yes.
virus. And
Yes,
that
sir.
strength, that courage is within us. So I'm going to start an initiative I'd love your support with, that we are all, I believe, we are a country not of victims and self-doubters. We are a country of champions. And to me, we are a country of fearless champions. So I would love to start a thing where we have a little signal you and I can do right now. We can take a photo of it, where people can put up on their own Instagrams, just this image of you like this with a sign, hashtag fearless champions, hashtag Sparsh Shah, hashtag Anand Chulani, so we can also share this mission with you. It'd be really powerful.
I'm
Let's do it right now, Sparsh. You and I.
Let's do
You and
it. Yeah.
I on Fearless
Let's
Champions on
pick
3.
some. Okay. Hold up. My dad's helping me take the picture on the other end because I have one hand, right? But
Yes. Hey. Amazing father, by the way.
Okay, sorry, 1 second. So hopefully this one. Click both at the same time. All right.
So guys, when you're done with this Instagram live or you've seen this video, go on your Instagram, post a photo of you like this, with a look on your face that says, I'm a fearless champion, a belief in your heart that I'm a fearless champion, and then post and tag hashtag fearless champions, hashtag Anand Chulani, hashtag Sparsh Shah, so we can also connect with you. All right?
Yeah,
Sparsh,
ready?
on 3.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Love it. My fearless champion brother.
Oh man, hold up. Sorry. I tried taking the screenshot, but it didn't work. I don't know why. All right, we're gonna try this
No
one
problem.
more.
We'll do it
one
again
more
if you
time.
want.
All right, ready?
No problem. Ready. 1,
1,
2,
2,
3.
3.
So guys, go to your Instagram page after this. Post you like this. Join Sparsh and I and put the tag hashtag fearless champions, hashtag Anand Chulani, hashtag Sparsh Shah, so we can be part of this mission with you and spread it to as many people, because we are a country, we are a race of a billion fearless champions in India and globally.
Yes, sir. We are not victims. We are victors in the making.
Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. It's been such a privilege spending time with you, my friend. You're a true champion. I truly honor who you are. I love your mission. I'm happy to do more stuff with you and to help spread it. But I'm going to check out after this. I'm going to check out your song. There's always tomorrow. I'm going to contribute to your amazing fund. And brother, continue to be the lantern that God chose you as. A lantern of light, a lantern of love, and a lantern of courage. True champion. God bless you, brother.
You too, man. I really appreciate that. And I really hope and pray that you do the same thing, because I mean, everything that you've been doing to like help people out here, and like especially during these times, it's invaluable. It's priceless. So thank you so much, not only for having me here today, but also for like doing all the amazing work you do. Yeah.
God bless, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And guys, by the way, just, whatever it is, just share your thoughts. Any questions, share it to Sparsh and I. We're on Instagram, so we're there for you. God bless you, brother. Thank you. Have an amazing day. And I'll post this out there, and let's continue to spread the light.
Yeah, let's do that.
Love
Thank
you,
you.
man.
Love you too.